Hello guys, so our next topic is about maximum and minimum values of a function. So from the previous lesson, you've learned about how to determine the intervals where the function increases or decreases. So now, you will learn about to determine the maximum and minimum values of a function. So, here, let us consider this graph, this figure. So, here we can easily identify the maximum and minimum values of the function. So, for the minimum value, we can say that the minimum value for the function is at x equals c. So, since this is the minimum point, then the maximum value would be at the maximum point b. So, we will not consider this value, 'di ba? Dito yung graph natin is nag-extend infinitely. So, 'di ba, consider siya as undefined. So, kasi nag-i-increase siya infinitely. So, ang kukunin lang natin, i-consider lang natin na maximum values is yung well-defined values natin, wherein yung maximum point natin, which is b. So, base sa graph, we can easily identify yung maximum and minimum values natin. However, kung ang given lang naman is yung equation ng function natin, how are we going to identify the maximum and minimum values? And for that, we have the first derivative test. So for the first condition, this is the condition. We have three conditions that should be satisfied in order that we can say that the value of x at a is maximum. So, let's say, ito, consider natin yung tatlong conditions. So, we have the maximum, this condition for the maximum point. So, ang consider natin is si b, since siya yung maximum point natin dun sa graph. So, sabi dito sa first condition naman is at x equals a, the value of our first derivative is equal to 0. So, dun sa pinaka-value natin at x equals a, hindi naman not necessarily value ng a tapos b yung nakalagay dito. Meaning lang yung arbitrary number or value dito ng x at that point. So, dito, we are considering this point b, which is by visual analysis, siya yung maximum point. So, observe natin kung masasatisfy niya to. So, at x equals a, so dito sa pinakatapat ng b na to, so dun sa value ng x niya, kapag dun tayo nag-create ng tangent line, we will have a horizontal tangent line which is y prime is equal to 0. Therefore, satisfied ito. And then, the next one, for x less than a, ibig sabihin, sa left side ni point b, diba? Less than, diba? Ito yung kinoconsider nating point. So, kapag less than sa value niya, edi, ang kukonsider mo is yung point sa left side niya. So, we have, dapat daw, y prime would be greater than 0, meaning, positive slope yung magiging tangent line natin. So, di ba dun sa kaliwa ni B, yung nabuo nating tangent line dito is positive. Upward to the right. So, therefore, nasatisfy pa rin niya to. And then, si y prime is less than 0 daw, meaning negative, for x greater than a. Ibig sabihin, dun sa value na greater than b, yung x, ang mabubuo nating tangent line is has a negative slope. So, meaning, downward to the right. So, di ba, satisfied yung conditions dito. So, therefore, we have a maximum point at B. So, pagdating naman kay minimum, the function y equals f of x is a minimum for x equals a if. So, ganun pa rin, we have the horizontal tangent line at x equals a. Pero, consider naman natin yung minimum point, which is a or c. So, consider natin yung values niya sa left side ng a, which is less than a, x less than a. So, we have a negative slope daw. Y prime is less than 0. So, tama ba sa C? So, di ba nung sa kaliwang side ni C, nung nag-draw tayo ng tangent line, we have a downward to the right na line. So, we have a negative slope. Therefore, satisfied niya to. And then, dun sa third is, we have the x values for x greater than a, meaning sa right side nung C natin, we have a positive slope. Y prime is greater than 0. So, nung nag-draw tayo ng tangent line is downward, upward to the right. So, meaning, satisfied niya to, y prime is greater than 0. So, tandaan nyo lang na kapag, di ba, pag magdodraw tayo ng tangent line, dapat at exactly 1 point lang siya mag-i-intersect dun sa curve natin. So, paano ba yung ginagawa? Let's say, meron tayo ditong curve na ganito. Yan. Paano ka magdodraw ng tangent line dito? So, halimbawa, magdodraw ka ng tangent line at this point, hindi pwede kasi magi-intersect siya doon. So, meaning, ang magiging tangent line mo lang is itong pahiga lang dito. Dapat hindi siya magi-intersect doon sa curve mo. At dapat at exactly 1 point lang. So, anyway, we have the first derivative test. Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-draw pa ng mga tangent line. So, base dito sa mga values na ito, ititest nyo siya para kung alin yung masatisfy niyang condition. Therefore, dun siya pasok. Therefore, you can identify that point. So, we have an example here. So, given that f of x is equal to x cubed plus x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x minus 3, find the values for which the function is a maximum or minimum, and then increasing and decreasing. So, wag na tong increasing and decreasing, yung maximum or minimum values lang natin. So, for our solution, step 1 is find the critical values. So, kasi yung critical values natin is either the maximum or minimum point natin. So, katulad lang nung kuha nung increasing and decreasing nung function natin, we have to find the critical values of x, which will come from the first derivative. And then, pag nakuha yung first derivative ng function natin, i-set natin yon equal to 0. And then, anong sunod na gagawin? Kukunin natin yung roots ng x. So, in this situation, example, we have the factor of 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 1. So, we have the critical values 1 and 3. So, iisa-isahin natin yung i-test. Diba? Meron na tayong critical value. Ang sunod is, itatest na natin siya. So, paano yon? Susundin lang natin yung given conditions kung paano i-identify. So, una, consider natin yung critical value, x equals 1. So, what are we going to do? So, unahin natin at x equals 1, dapat yung f prime of x natin is equal to 0. So, malamang 0 yan kasi, diba, kaya nga natin nakuha yung critical value is sinat natin equal to 0 yung first derivative natin. So, kahit wag nyo na itong ipakita kasi redundant na yung solution. So, pinakita ko lang dito para maipakita na yung pag-satisfy niya dun sa tatlong condition na to. So, yan. Kahit i-skip nyo na to kasi manggaling man lang din siya dun sa pag-solve ng critical values. So, proceed na tayo dun sa less than and greater than values. So, ang concern natin is, di ba yung critical values natin is 1 and 3? So, ang unang i-consider natin is si 1. So, we have to consider the values x less than a. Meaning, kahit anong value na pwede natin i-substitute na basta less than 1. So, I chose negative x equals negative 1. And then, anong gagawin? Isa-substitute lang natin siya dun sa first derivative natin. Dun sa equation ng first derivative. Therefore, ang nakuha nating sagot is 24. So, consistent naman yan. Kapag lahat ng values ng x less than 1, ang ilalabas niyang sagot, positive yan lahat. Therefore, masasatisfy niya yung condition na y prime is greater than 0 for x less than a. So, how about naman dun sa pagpili nung value ng x greater than a? So, be careful lang dito. Kasi, di ba, pag nag-pick ka ng values greater than 1, baka marating or malampasan mo, mag-overlap siya sa value ng 3. So, dapat ang pipiliin mong value is hindi papasok kay 3. Hindi lalagpas dyan. Dapat, in between lang ng 1 to 3. Kasi doon na siya papasok sa interval ni 3 kapag lumagpas ka pa sa kanya. So, dapat ang kunin mong value is in between lang nila 1 to 3. So, we have chosen 2. So, now we have yan. X equals 2. So, therefore, substitute lang natin dun sa first derivative equation. So, we have negative 3. So, thus, y prime is less than 0 for x greater than a. So, now, let's check kung alin condition yung nasatisfy, for maximum ba or for minimum. So, base dun sa mga nakuha nating values, ito yung magkaka-pair. X equals a for x equals a, y prime is equal to 0, and then for y prime greater than 0, x is less than a, and then another one is y prime less than 0 for x greater than a. Therefore, sinatisfy niya itong buong conditions for maximum. Therefore, siya ay to be considered as the maximum value of the function. So, yun. Take note, dapat lahat niya tong tatlo masasatisfy. Kung kahit isa lang dyan is hindi niya masatisfy, therefore, hindi siya dyan pasok. So, remind ko lang na pagpili ng mga isa-substitute na values, bawal mag-overlap dun sa next term, sa next critical value. So, yan. We concluded that the maximum value of the function is at x equals 1. So, to get the maximum value of the function, we substitute this value to the function. So, yung x equals 1, yung location pa lang niya yun. Yung pinaka-value nung maximum value ng function natin is manggagaling dun sa y, sa value ng y natin. To get the value of y, substitute lang natin yung value ng x na nakuha natin. So, therefore, the maximum point is at 1, 1. So, ganun lang. So, pangalawa, itetest naman natin yung critical value na x equals 3. So, we have, ito na ulit, x equals 3. Kahit wag na natin isolve, y prime is equal to 0 na yan. And then, for the values of x less than a, so less than daw sa 3, so we have, I considered the value of x as 2.5. So, we have negative 2.25, meaning at x less than a, y prime is less than 0. So, pagdating naman kay x greater than a, which is, yung value na pinili ko is 5, which is greater than siya sa 3. So, then substitute ko siya dun sa first derivative equation, we get a positive value. Therefore, y prime is greater than 0 at x greater than 0. So, therefore, ang nasatisfy niya is yung condition for the minimum value. So, hence, we can conclude that the minimum value of the function is located at x equals 3. So, therefore, we conclude that the minimum value of the function is at x equals 3. To get the minimum value of the function, we substitute this value to the function. So, ganun lang ulit. So, specifically, yung minimum point natin is located at 3, negative 3. So, pakipalitan lang din to, minimum point na siya. Pag-copy-paste ko lang yata yan. Minimum point na to, 3, negative 3. So, remind ko lang ulit kayo na bawal mag-overlap yung tinetest nyong values for the critical value. So, kasi, di ba, let's say, di ba, sabi natin, nagpili kayo ng value less than 3, kapag pumasok siya dun sa value na less, 'di ba, ang less than 3 pwedeng 2 din, 'di ba? Negative 3 yung lalabas. Ibig sabihin, negative value yung makukuha nyo for y prime. And then, 'di ba, also x equals negative 1 is also less than 3. So, pero positive yung lumabas na sagot. Di parang contradicting yung kalalabasan na result nung y prime nyo. Bakit may values na less than 3? Pareho naman silang less than 3, pero magkaiba yung inilabas na y prime. Kasi nga, nag-overlap na yung sinasubstitute nyong values. Dapat, 'di ba, yung critical values is 1 and 3. Dapat kapag pipili kayo ng values na less than 3, dapat hindi nyo masasakop yung values kay 1. Therefore, pag napipili kayo ng values na ititest nyo for x for less than 3, huwag kayong lalagpas kay 1 hanggang lang kayo. Sabihin natin 1.001 until that value. Hindi na kayo pwedeng bumaba na 1 or 0.5 or 0 or negative. And then, kapag naman din, same lang din kay 1, wherein pag pinili nyo naman is yung pag nagtest kayo for the critical value 1 natin, and then pipili kayo ng values greater than 1, huwag kayong lalagpas kay 3 kasi mag-overlap na. So, pipili lang kayo at most 2.999. Huwag kayong aabot ng 3. So, yun lang yung be careful, doon lang kayo maging careful sa pag-pick ng ititest na values. So, I hope you've learned something from this video. Thank you.